Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
How'd you feel about your performance overall? It seemed like maybe the first round went to her and it was taking you some time to get into a rhythm, but then you picked it up. Overall, were you happy with your performance?
I was not. Obviously each fight is a stepping stone and a growing process. I was a little frustrated. I had a pretty phenomenal fight camp to where I was just knocking people out, pushing the pace, constantly doing something completely different. I would probably say that most people only seen 40% of me in that cage tonight, so it was a little frustrating that I didn't push, but I think I did what I needed to steal the round. So.
Why do you think it took you a while to get going?
You can't ever answer that. For one, I don't know if a lot of people know that, but it's kind of weird that I chose this sport. I'm stage fright, so getting out there, just being back in front of the crowd, I think I kind of put a little bit of pressure on myself with the fact that this was a great stepping stone for my career. It was breaking the top 10, so I usually do pretty good at separating that, but I put the pressure on myself tonight.
So you feel very nervous before the fights? Is that fair to say?
You could say that. Nerves are a positive thing, so
Sure.
as long as you process them in a positive way, it's a good thing. I would say if somebody goes in there and they don't feel nerves, you got a little more screws loose than most of us.
Did you think you did enough though to win the fight before they announced who won? Did you think you had done it?
Yeah, like I said, I feel like I sealed those rounds the way that I need to. I kind of just pushed the pace at the very end. I obviously did not want it to go to the judges, but it happens. Back in the gym I go.
I recall when we spoke to you after UFC 191 in September, you were very fired up and you wanted big fights, and then we didn't see you for a very long time. Why the long layoff between fights?
It had nothing to do with me. I'm always training, I'm always prepared. Sean Shelby just kind of called me and he's like, hey, we have these opponents, blah, blah, blah. And when it comes down to it, it's business. And he was like, or we have a great opportunity, you can fight Bethe, but she's not available until April. And I was like, you know what? I obviously want to climb the ladder. I was talking about a revenge tour, but if I have the opportunity to jump up even higher, then I want to do that. And Bethe was a great opportunity, so I said that I would take the weight, and it just gave me more time to focus on some training, do some technical training, kind of enjoy life a little bit outside of the octagon. So
there's this trio of names, Rousey, Tate. What do you think you need to do to bridge that gap to get to that point where they say,
if you ask me in my honest opinion, I don't think I'm far from that title shot. I've already fought Holly Holm. Misha was obviously my coach on The Ultimate Fighter. I was her student. I helped her train for Rousey Part 2. There's kind of that storyline there. Everybody loves the storylines and whatnot. But when it comes down to it, I think that this triangle that's going on within the top 3 girls, it's something that needs to be broken. You have a lot of other girls who are busting their butt every single day, and we deserve that shot.
So when Misha said, the UFC for me, let's open up the division and let's put Amanda Nunes in there as opposed to doing 3 matches, do you think that's a sound argument to agree with that?
100%. I think it's great to finally have some new blood up there. It's fair to the other girls. It's fair to all of us that are working hard.
How do you see that fight going?
I think it's going to be an exciting fight. Amanda is a tough opponent, and Misha's obviously a tough opponent as well. I don't know. I think it'll be a brawl.
Do you have any sort of timelines for when you want to get back in there? You waited a little while, and then you want to just get right back in there and get to it?
Back in the day, you can ask me, and I would right away, throw something at me, and I'm ready. But I think it's important. I kind of lost my passion for a little bit. I think it's important to take that time outside of the octagon and kind of enjoy myself. I have a couple trips lined up for the summer. So that's kind of what I plan on doing, is just enjoying some family time. My little brother and sister-in-law are about to have babies, so I just want to enjoy some family time, enjoy myself, and then from there kind of just get back into things. And then right after summer's over, I'm ready to go.
Why do you think you lost your passion?
The sport isn't easy, and it wasn't something that's ever been handed to me. I've definitely had to work from the very bottom. I've kind of been that black horse in women's MMA, and I've been grinding. I've been through a lot of things with different coaches, different teams, all kinds of stuff, to where it would have probably knocked a ton of people down. I've had people to where they were just like, you're crazy, like you shouldn't be a part of this, and it finally took something within me to where I realized I'm passionate about this. I do it every single day. There's no one else out there, and I gotta love what I'm doing. So I'm the one that drove myself, kind of just found the passion for it, and I would honestly have to say that the fight with Holly Holm is the one that kind of lit the fire for me again.
Yesterday after the weigh-ins, I recognized a familiar face in MMA history, Thomas Denny. He was outside, and he says he's been working with you for the last 3 weeks or so, and hopefully for your next fight, you can work a lot longer. How did you link up with him?
I've actually known Thomas for a while. I fought his wife as my last amateur fight. And then from there, he would just always come down to one of the gyms in Springs. We would train together, and then I would go up to Denver sometimes, we would train. And it just so happened that for this fight camp, I decided that I wanted to finish off with a lot more training partners and do different things, get different bodies in front of me. Thomas trains a lot of girls, so we kind of just threw it together, and we went up to Denver, and that's where I finished my camp.
Will you keep training with him?
Oh yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
I definitely love the team that I have behind me right now, the coaching staff and everything. It's solid for me.
When your longtime coach, Mark Fury, retired, was that a tough thing for you? Was that part of the transition?
It's always tough, I mean, there's a little bit more that went on behind that, I mean, Mark, he's been a warrior himself throughout his life and everything. Some medical issues kind of came up with him that stirred up in my last couple fight camps that they kind of just, everything kind of plays a toll, I mean, you build these relationships. Mark was definitely like that trainer to me, but he was also like a father figure. So when he kind of left the scene, it gets you a little bit. But I mean, I linked back up with an old coach, Juan Gonzalez, who we have this insane connection to where, I mean, I trust him with everything. I trust him to completely walk me through every single fight, and we have the same burning passion. So I know that we're going to do great things.
Does a name come up for what you or who you want next?
Obviously, I'm trying to work my way to the top. I want anybody that's obviously within the top 10. I've always talked about this revenge tour that I'm doing, but I mean, I want the big names too. I want a rematch against Holly Holm, Kat Zingano. I have a lot more that I want to prove, and that in those fights I was the better fighter.
Not sure if you heard, but that was your 4th win at bantamweight in the UFC, and Ronda has 6. You're not that far away. Misha has 5, so you're right in that discussion. I don't know if you knew that, but that's a pretty great accomplishment, so congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I did want to add one